And this is Miss Centrise reporting on the behalf of Movers and Shakers magazine. Today we are here with international jewelry designer, Mr. Darrell Roach. And how are you doing today?
Feeling international.
Feeling international, you guys. And to the viewers, good. You know what? At the end of the day, what legacy do you want to leave behind at the end of the day?
Well, there's a lot of different components to that. For me, over the course of my life, I mean, I grew up as a child in a very rural North Carolina area, and I grew up extremely poor. So as I was growing up, we weren't taught that there was a possibility for us to be able to be creative artists or designers and actually make a career out of it.
Right.
It was pretty much like you graduate high school, go to work at a mill, and I just couldn't accept it as my reality. So as I began my journey into jewelry, I found out that there's not a lot of African Americans in the jewelry industry, especially in the high fashion design arena.
Right.
So one part of my legacy is I want to open up the doors and the possibilities so that other people can see. You don't have to be a certain type of man or a certain type of woman to be a designer. You don't have to be French, you don't have to be Italian. You can be an African American. If you have creativity, you do have that ability. Right. So in my legacy, my goal is to open up the doors and show that that possibility is there and continue to expand it to show how far it can go. Now, on the part of my legacy for my children and my family, which I don't have yet, gotta find a lady first, but
okay,
hey,
ladies,
this interview might help.
He's single, ladies.
But you know, for my children, I want to leave them something that they can have and still pass on to their children. Because with jewelry companies, when you look at the greats that I have looked up to, like the Tiffany's, that is a long legacy. Yes. So for jewelry, I can do some designs now that can still be selling 150, 200 years from now.
Right, longevity.
Right, and I want my kids to be able to say, when they watch the Antique Roadshow, oh, this lady has a piece. My dad actually touched that. Right. My grandfather actually touched that. You know, so that's what I'm trying to do, show them the world is your oyster, is your world of possibility. But you have to make it.
That is very true.
And I started out with $7.50 and a roll of copper wire, and I still got about $7.50 and a roll of copper wire. But I had to fight for it, everything that has happened for me. I've had to fight for it.
Yes.
I've had to work hard. And if anything else, I want to leave the fortitude and instill that within my children so that they know if you got the guts or the conscience, then you can make it what you want it to be. Just don't let nobody tell you no and go and get it.
So to my viewers out there, just keep in mind, if you have the tenacity to do it, and as Mr. Darrell Roach stated, if you have the guts to do it, go for it. Allow no one at all to set limitations on you. Now let me also ask you this. In reference to you touching on the points of being African American, has it been that hard for you to break into the industry as an African American? Has it been that hard?
I'm not gonna say it's that, for a lot of different reasons. What I will say is there are not a lot of African Americans that have major roles, that are in the position to make decisions themselves in the industry.
Okay.
There's a lot in the background. There's a lot that are designing under other labels, but there's not a lot that are standing out on their own, getting the respect on that next level.
Okay, I understand.
So hard, I'm gonna take it to an individual thing.
Okay.
I mean, like from when I first started, when I met different celebrities, like when I met Susan Taylor, she was a great inspiration to me.
Oh wow.
I saw her on an interview on a Friday night. I said I really want to meet that lady, and Saturday I was standing in front of her. Wow. It just happened like that. And she loved my work. Now, when I walked in, I didn't even have a ticket or a pass to the event that I went to. I just went. And it's been like that with everybody I've met. I just go. It's like, I don't see the possibility of anything happening other than what it is that I want to happen. I don't see, oh, well, you know, you can't do that because of this. You can't do this. I'm alive. I'm going to do whatever it is that I can do. And what I can do is dictated by what I want to do.
Exactly. The sky is the limit.
Yeah. I might get bumped in, like, you know, I might want to go meet somebody. They may have some security, and they may have different people in place that are gatekeepers. But really, if you let them stop, like that, you take that first no, and they say, well, no, you can't do that because of this. A lot of times, it's hard, like, all right, meeting Russell Simmons.
Okay.
The first time that I met Russell Simmons, I went in, I talked to him, it was a great thing. We clicked, we had great conversation. Getting back in touch with him after the fact, after we've already had communication and we went in depth on certain things, getting through his gatekeepers was nearly impossible because they are more difficult to deal with than the actual people sometimes.
Okay, exactly. I understand.
You know?
Okay. So it's not
so
that
want what you want to go get it.
It's not that it's been hard for you, just some challenges.
It's been some challenges, and it's not hard. Like I say, hard or something being difficult is a state of mind. Mm-hmm. If you believe that it's gonna be difficult, it is.
It will be.
But if you believe the desired result that you have is gonna come true, that's what's gonna happen. You gotta understand, I'm from a rural town in Rockingham, North Carolina. I'm from the sticks.
Rockingham, North Carolina, you guys.
In 1992, I lived in a shack with holes this wide that I could see outside, and we lived on a lake in 1992 in the country. There's nothing great about my life up until this point. So how do you see coming from living in a shack in 1992 with holes this wide, no insulation that you can see outside, and my work in international magazines? Those two things, you wouldn't put those together in your head.
Exactly.
But if I looked at the circumstances where I was at, I would still be in Rockingham living in a shack with a house with holes that big that I could see out.
Exactly.
But my inner vision has always been much bigger than that.
Okay, and I understand that. And again, this has been Miss Antrice with Movers and Shakers magazine. And today we were here, and it's been such a pleasure and such an honor speaking with you. We have been here with international jewelry designer, Mr. Darrell Roach.